What's up, people? We're going to clean up some email, and the way we basically deliver email effectively to the inbox with the new email address is we have to basically, configure it properly. And so what we have is these two ways of testing here. Where's the other way? So what you have is, I'm going to show you what score I have now. I'm going to configure it, and then we'll get a new score, and hopefully it'll be over 9. So we copy this, create a new message. The test doesn't matter what this in the subject, and send them one from each. I like to just have a second reference. So we'll grab the email from here. And then what we'll do is we click on this see your score, and this one works a little bit faster in my experience. And it's nice that it gives you some kind of progress. This one, not so nice. Seems to take longer, a lot longer. Okay, so we have 4 out of 10. And let's see if this one's ever going to generate a score. We'll just let that go for a little while because I just don't know when it ever generates a score. I've never seen it generate a score. At least I don't think it has when I've tried it before. But this one always is. This one's a great one. And so what we can do is just open this up, and we just want to correct these things here. So we want to fix these things right here by adding this to your DNS information. So it's giving me this information, and I just have to change it. So copy that string, go into your DNS information. In this case, I'm not using the GoDaddy where I usually change my DNS information. I'm going into my hosting service. I have to find the text record here. Let's go down. Okay, here we go. We're editing this, and then save that record, and then let's go back into the test, see what else we need to change. That's not going to get me high enough. Well, maybe it will. It'll almost get me to 10 if I can get all that changed. Let's see what else we can change. Okay, now this doesn't tell you how to resolve it, but this does over here. Okay, so we got that updated. Let's see if this one finally gave me a result. Let's see if it gives me anything to fix it with. Okay, let's check this IP address, because this IP address is not the right IP address. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, so I don't see where this address is even coming from. So that's a little bit of a mystery. And we can follow these URLs and do a removal request. And then the SPF has errors. We already changed that, so we don't need to do it again. And it says we have some good stuff going on, but not enough. Oh, not trustworthy. .com is more trustworthy. .me is not. Can't do anything about that. That's the top level domain. It's set to none. What do we need to send it to? Okay, so we can do a reject. Let's do a reject. Not finding it. And we'll just change that text area. Okay, what else can we do? Yes, it is a new, as I should have described in the beginning of the video, it is a new email address. It's not a very new domain, but it's probably a couple months old for the domain, maybe 3 at the most. And the email address has been around for 2 or 3 weeks. What else can we try? Let's try running the test again. And click for a new email address, testing. Okay, let's grab a new email from the Mail Genius. All right, so let's go and try. The mail tester works faster, so we'll just do that one first. Let's get this one started since one takes forever. Let's see if the propagation, the DNS changes always need to propagate, so sometimes these things don't change very fast. And you need to wait half hour. They always say DNS changes take 24 hours to propagate. That's not usually the case, but that's like the boilerplate response when you talk to anybody about DNS. Okay, so already it's almost twice as good, and let's see what the other one has to say. Well, so far nothing on that one. Let's check, see what else we can change. Spam Assassin still doesn't like it. So let's see what we can do about this. I'm not familiar with this. Just do a quick search, see what we can do about this particular problem. Okay, let's just grab the IP because that's what they're saying. The IP address is, where's the IP address? It's on a shared server, so that's one of the problems. I'm just using a regular host. It's not a special email. Let's see if this is the problem, because there's 2 IP addresses in question. There's this one, which is being picked up by the system. Let me just add the email that we're using here. What a trick. Monthly email volume, I'm not sure. Oh, we need the IP. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's enter the IP address and just try it again. I've never gone through this process before, so I don't know how long it takes to actually have an effect. So just request to be removed. I have no idea how long that takes. Well, that was easy. So hopefully that's just removed. There's also another one, which is the address of the server that I'm actually dealing with. Where's that? It's right here. So just in case this is relevant, I'll take this off. And so that was easy enough. And now what we just need to do is, okay, we still have the same bad score on Genius or Mail Genius. And of course, I'm not sure if it'll work right away because every change you make doesn't take effect right away because of DNS propagation and all that. But let's try again. And when you go back, just click on the refresh to get a new email address. Click copy and generate a new message, as we have been doing. So it's the third message. All right, so that'll send, and then what we can do, what's this happening? Nothing. Just says remove more addresses. So once you get signed up, it's pretty much easy to remove multiple addresses. And what I recommend you removing, actually, let me look at this. This might be a very good idea to grab as many addresses as possible. Let's see. Like all the addresses that was picked up on the mail checker tool, which potentially could be all these addresses right here. So you could try to remove. This is the one we already removed. Well, actually, that's a mask. That's single. So this is a single address, and we can use that and run that through, and then grab the next one. See, that /16 is not a direct address. It's a subnet, so it's not going to be. I don't think they'll allow you to put in a mask address or a range of IP addresses. So these are single addresses. So just add these to this sender score and remove them. And let's generate just the score. Access to 20 tests. I didn't do 3. Did I do 3 already? Okay, I'm just going to pay for this, and I'll come back after I'm done paying. Okay, wow. So now we jumped all the way from where we were. I think we were just under 6, or maybe we're under 5. I can't remember. And now we're at 1010. So let's do the same test to make sure we're still looking good, or we're looking better on the Mail Genius. So let's copy this. Let's refresh the address. Copy that, generate a new message. And now we're going to go, where are we going? We're going to Mail Genius, and we're going to check the score. So I'll pause this because it takes a long time, and I'll come back when it's generated a score. Okay, so as you can see, this Mail Genius score has more recommendations, whereas the Mail Tester gave me a 10 out of 10. So let's go back and check to see what we can do about this score, or how to improve it. So we got blacklists here. Let's see. Okay, let's do a request to remove. Okay, let's see if we could just, oh, that's not what we want. So I'm just going to type this in. Okay, so it has no issues. So which part has the issues? Let's go through the IP addresses. Okay, so we have a single IP address here. Okay, has no issues. Let's keep going down the list. Okay, so far I have no idea what is showing up here. Okay, let's go to the next one. We have 2 more to test. One I have to go to the direct server email address, and this one has something else going on with it. There it is. Okay, we'll have to make that request later because I'm going to have to go through they say the ISP, but that's not the ISP's address. That is the hosting service address. So I will copy this address for another time, or this URL for another time, so I can show it to the hosting company and they can get it removed. So I'll just put it on a text file for now, just temporarily. Okay, on to the next thing. Let's see what we can do next. So now we're failing with different, okay, so is it the same company? Okay, but they said they didn't have that address. That address looked good. Let's try, okay, let's check it out. It has no issues. So what is this test talking about? And obviously if the test is showing up, you know, this problem with this IP address, but then the direct lookup on that particular abuse@org website doesn't repeat the same information, then you're pretty much stuck. Then I have this SPF has errors. Let's check out the SPF record, which is a text record. Okay, let's try again. Oh, it's not trustworthy. I can't do anything about that because the .me they just think it's not reputable, which is fine. These are the ones they consider reputable. Okay, we're not using best practices here. Let's see if we can update this. Okay, but it's not. Okay, that makes sense. That's how they make money. Great. Domain's very young. Can't do anything about that. Unsubscribe header. Well, it's not a spam message. It's just a regular email. Okay, so these 2 things I can't do anything about because, well, I can if I was sending a marketing message, but I'm not sending a marketing message, so embedding an unsubscribe link isn't really relevant in this case. But usually, like for example, the mail tester gives you like actionable advice in the text. It just tells you exactly what to do, whereas the Mail Genius doesn't, which is fine. They need to make money. They want to make money on this. That's probably why they also have probably a more strict mechanism or strict testing result, because they get paid by the problems you have, not by the solutions that they provide. Or they get paid to provide the solution, but they got to flag you for all the problems they can. But I guess it comes down to a trust thing. Do you trust these guys who don't give you any information, or do you trust these guys who give you all the information to fix it right after the test? So let's see if we can just go through this again, see if we missed anything. Okay, this is interesting. I've not paid much attention to this before, so let's check this out. Okay, I don't know what this is referring to. So it's like they just made this up. I don't understand how we add this in the DNS settings that basically makes a list of the authorized email addresses. Yeah, so I'm a little stuck with this. I'd like to be able to satisfy both tests, but you can see there's a big delta between one result and the other. And one result tells you how to fix the problem, and the other result just says, pay us to fix it, which again, it's all good. They should make money as much as they can. Okay, this is one thing I could probably change because I don't think that exists. Oh no, the information's there. Let's try something just to play around with a little bit, see if we can get a little bit closer to 10. Let's just test this one since I'm here and I'm looking at the IP address. Let's test this. Okay, so which address has the problem? Okay, this one. So I think it's the hosting service's IP address that has a problem, and I can't do anything about that. I have to tell them about the address, which I've already saved a note of it, so I can get with them later. But let's try to get a little bit further. So let's do an include. Let's include. Here we go. Let's do an include here, and we're going to include the domain name. Save the record. Let's go back to Mail Genius. Hopefully that'll make a little bit of difference. I'm not sure. Copy the test email address. Generate a new message. Okay, let's see what goes on with that, and we're going to see the score. And I'll put it on pause because, like we know that this one takes a little bit of time. Okay, so it bumped. Was it 2 points? That's nothing. So this is ridiculous. I'm almost I'm tempted to pay them just to see what they would do differently, and to show them that, and just to show them how big a difference is between the other testing platform, the mail tester. Here's part of the problem with paying them to do this test, is because they're just going to tell me that they can't fix this, and I got to go to the ISP to fix these problems. So let's just go through it again just so we can see. Okay, so let's see. Now it just shows the same IP address, which I have to request removal from the host. Then it's saying we have a record here. Let's go back. Let's just see if we still have a 10. Maybe there's just a fluke. Let's just check that. Let's go back and do this test again. Why not? Let's refresh. Make sure we get a clean or a new email. Let's go back, paste in the email, and send the message. All right, and then let's check it. I'll come back when it's finished. No, it's still 10. See, making sure that it was the test. It was right here. The subject proves that it's the right message. It's totally perfect test. So I appreciate that these guys are telling me that there's a problem with this IP address, and I need to go to check my or get my IP address, this particular IP address specifically, and have it fixed through the hosting service. But other than that, I don't see a way around this problem. Everything else looks good. Email domain is not trustworthy. Can't help that. They're going to fail me for getting a top level domain. That's something they don't like. That's not right. And they must be in the UK because they have a preference for the co.uk. The DMARC they're saying is a problem. And what else? So anyway, maybe I should find a third. A third. Always get 3 quotes. That's what my dad always said. So let's try to find a third reference to test our deliverability, and we'll do this test again. Okay, so check this out. Mail Genius has a bad review. Maybe they're a bad review because their testing tool is strict and holds people hostage to pay them just to fix a problem instead of just giving up the goods like the other services do. So let's check this zero bounce thing. Let's see, what else can we get onto? Does Zero Bouncer have a test tool? Okay, get an email score here, so that's cool. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, that's fine. We might sign it if we don't have a better alternative or another alternative. Bouncer. Let's see what Bouncer's doing. Okay, we've got a deliverability kit. Okay, deliverability kit's fairly new. Okay, we might sign up if we don't have a better alternative. Let's try some other ones. Oh, that's just delivery software. So I need email delivery tools. Let's try that. Okay, email list. Don't want to trust my email list. Okay, email deliverability. Okay, let's see. Okay, they don't have a test. Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, these guys usually have a pretty good test. I use these guys, or I have used these guys for DNS lookups and reverse lookups. What? MX Toolbox, there we go. Okay, let's check, see what this test looks like. It's just going to test the same thing. It's going to check the DNS records of every single aspect of the email. And of course the DMARC and the SPF settings need to exist. So we have warnings here. Let's see what they say. I did just enable it, didn't I? Okay, let's just check and see if we can have some. So I don't know, it doesn't have like an overall score. It basically just says there's these problems. Everything passed. We have 3 warnings on the mail server, which we know about because IP address is flagged as a spammer. So let's see how we can make that reject policy in the DMARC. I already did that though, didn't I? Let's check my... Yeah, I set it to reject. Oh, maybe I changed the wrong information. Okay, let's try it again. Or maybe I just need to check more to reject. No, I can't. Everything was... Okay, got it. Subdomain policy. I changed the wrong one. Let's just change them both to reject. Save the record. Well, let's check Mail Genius again. And let's go back to the site and refresh. Oh no, what happened? Okay, here we go. Okay, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, and it's slowly but surely bumping up. So the biggest problem I have right now is the domain name, which is not really the domain name. It's the IP address. Let me check, actually. Let me make sure, because I think it's that IP address. It's not the domain name. Yeah, so the domain name is not even the problem. It's strictly the biggest problem I'm having is the IP address of the server, the email server, is causing a lot of problems. But the test reads the domain is a problem, but it's not the domain, as we've just tested right here. So there's a couple different tools, and I'll put all these tools in the description because I think it's nice to have 3 tools. If you really want to go nuts, you can use Mail Genius. If you want to have a little bit easier time, you want to use Mail Tester. If you want to have that third option, use the MX Toolbox.